You know, I had no idea what to call this video, so if the title seems a bit strange, that might be why. I saw this person on the Twitter a while ago, and I thought, you know, without knowing anything about you whatsoever, just by your appearance, I can tell you're a leftist. The hair, the haggard skin texture, the body language, the utter lifelessness of this person screams nothing but misery of meaninglessness. First off, if you're looking at this person and you're wondering, why do they look kind of familiar? Yeah, that might be the reason why. I don't know if it's the same person, but my good lord, the resemblance is absolutely uncanny, isn't it? If it's a different person, then my goodness, the script and uniform description is bang on accurate, isn't it? This is straight up dystopian creepy. I bring this up because there's a phrase by Cicero, Salus Populi Suprema Lex, the health of the people is the supreme law. You want to know what this woman does? When I tell you, none of you will be remotely surprised, which is kind of the point. She is a misinformation researcher. And here's why I reference Cicero. If your regime is churning out completely useless positions, such as this, your regime is seriously sick and rotten. Imagine telling people your job is to find and research problematic words on the internet, policing language from people you know nothing about. Your job is utterly irrelevant, unnecessary, and contributes nothing positive whatsoever to the world in which you inhabit. You create nothing, you produce nothing, nothing you contribute to the world is a net positive in any way whatsoever, because you're nothing more than a regime lemming, a pleb. If your position were to be culled, the world would be significantly better off without your meddling in it. A realization which is soul-destroying and demoralizing to the core. This is nothing more than a superfluous cog in a bloated network of unnecessary fat. A slug that plagues the system and is designed to be nothing more than a worthless job to provide a veneer of meaning to those who would otherwise wither and fade away into obscurity. Another faceless name forgotten and washed away by the ticking sands of time. This is what modernity produces, a soulless set of drones who must feed on power like desperate junkies, or else they'll probably have no reason to live. This is probably the biggest unspoken problem in the West. We have no more grand narratives, no more works of any greatness. There is a certain, I don't know what you can call it, a staleness to modernity. There's nothing exciting about our time, nothing that thrills the senses outside of either great quantities of inebriating substances or seeking misaligned meaning through the exercise of what little power these types can scramble together as they cope with the hollow existence of 21st century living. We don't seem to have an overall goal or project to move towards. We're just existing for the sake of it, watching civilization decay and crumble in real time. It's just this very numbed existence of mindless consumerism, like we're all subsisting on sugar cubes. I could also just be very, very depressed. That is also a high probability. And for reasons like this, 60 Minutes failed to disclose misinformation researcher got millions in government grants donated to Biden, a surprise to not even the dead that apparently voted for a fellow corpse. I have to get in at least one joke over here. So basically, taxpayer-funded money was used to pay someone to conduct what I would imagine amounts to regime spying under the guise of research, which would then be used by this individual to donate to Biden. Again, jobs program. University of Washington professor and researcher Kate Starbutt was featured. Wait, she's a professor? Oh, God help the brain-dead pace-eaters that have to suffer through that mind rot. That is a dreadful waste of human resources. Seriously, didn't the spurging freakout happen at a college as well? Please tell me that is true. It all comes back to the mimetic egg. Where was I going with this again? Alright, sorry. On the program about misinformation proliferating on social media, which means regular people say things that the state finds problematic, which is totally normal in this hellish contraption we call liberal democracy. Ah, yes, where the people totally have power. And if you still believe that stupid bullshit, I can probably sell you your own feet. Starbutt spearheaded a project that Biden's National Science Foundation granted $2.25 million in 2021, and the researcher collaborated with the Department of Homeland Security by serving on an advisory committee under its Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which CBS did not mention. Again, I wonder why. Oh yeah, corruption. It's very, very eerie to see the state expand in such a way and then draw in these types of people who were left bereft of any meaning in their own lives for whatever reason I don't know. I suspect the lack of marriage, because Lord knows these types are damn near always single, which is not a surprise. This kind of behavior is not conducive to healthy mental well-being, let alone attracting the attention of the opposite sex. But you can quite clearly see this pattern over and over again. There's always a certain type to them, overwhelmingly XX being the key one here. People can kick up a huff about this all they want, but it is in our nature to worship. And if you remove God, you will inevitably end up worshipping one of three things: impulse, wealth, or ideology. You can see which one she chose. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.